With the selection of a jury in the Sean Diddy Combs case almost complete, prosecutors are preparing for opening arguments on Monday. But they admit there's a snag. One of their key witnesses against the rapper appears to have gone missing. This comes as we learn that Combs' ex-girlfriend, who was seen on video being assaulted by the rapper, is pregnant.
Please this indictment, sir, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Beneath the stark, cold glow of the Manhattan courtroom's lights, Sean Diddy Combs entered with measured steps. His eyes, hollow and inscrutable, seemed to shield an unspeakable secret, while his legal team huddled close, murmuring strategies to salvage his crumbling empire. The trial, which commenced in early May 2025, was poised to be a stage where truth would unfurl. Yet, just before the pivotal moment, a mystery sent shockwaves through the proceedings. Victim number 3, heralded as the golden key to unraveling the shadowy corners of Diddy's world, had vanished without a trace. Her witness chair stood empty, leaving a haunting question in the air. Had she chosen silence, or had someone ensured it? The prosecutor, face taut with strain, spoke in hushed tones of desperate efforts to locate her. The woman who had vowed to confront Diddy with her true identity laid bare. Now, there was no call, no sign, only a chilling void. Was this the fear of an individual buckling under immense pressure, or evidence of a greater force orchestrating from the shadows? Whispers in the courtroom grew sharper as the Combs family was drawn into the maelstrom. Justin Dior Combs and Janice Combs, Diddy's sons and mother, were conspicuously absent from recent hearings. Rumors spread like wildfire. Were they entangled in internal disputes over the family's vast fortune, or somehow linked to the enigmatic disappearance of this critical witness? Some spoke in low tones of anonymous messages, interrupted calls and silent figures trailing victim number 3 before she vanished. Diddy, under oath, denied any connection to her disappearance, but the flicker of uncertainty in his gaze sowed doubt among the jurors, who questioned the veracity of his words. His family, once a steadfast pillar of support, now stood cloaked in suspicion. This case was no mere trial, it was a labyrinth of secrets, where each step could unveil a horrifying revelation. Where was victim number 3, and what truths did the Combs family conceal? The answers perhaps lurked in the darkness. As the jury scrutinized Diddy's every move, this saga posed a profound question: how would they judge him amidst his tangled lies and the enigma enveloping the Combs family?
To be seated tomorrow in the racketeering and sex trafficking trial of Sean Diddy Combs. More prospective jurors questioned today to make up the group of 18 people needed to officially begin the trial on schedule on May 12th. And Combs has pleaded not guilty to racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution charges, 5 counts.
On a tense May day in 2025, as prosecutor Marin Comey laid a 200-page indictment on the table in a Manhattan courtroom, an unsettling shadow loomed, foreshadowing unprecedented challenges in the case against Sean Diddy Combs. The disappearance of victim number 3, a witness expected to shake the foundations of Diddy's empire, dealt a crushing blow to the prosecutor's hopes. Court records revealed that just days before the trial's opening in May 2025, she abruptly severed all contact, erasing her final flurry of social media posts, frantic messages hinting at anonymous warnings from shadowy accounts, threatening to make her regret testifying. A close source disclosed that she fled her suburban apartment in haste, leaving behind personal belongings and trial preparation documents as if escaping a malevolent specter. Her absence not only weakened the indictment, but also cast a pall of fear over other witnesses already hesitant to challenge Diddy's formidable influence. The pressure extended beyond victim number 3. Another witness, gripped by similar threats, withdrew at the 11th hour, leaving prosecutors grappling with a formidable obstacle in building their case. A brief but haunting letter from this witness spoke of sleepless nights and an inescapable sense of menace, as if the trial were not merely a legal battle, but a psychological maelstrom engulfing all involved. Veteran attorney Elizabeth Geddes, closely monitoring the case, described victim number 3's disappearance as a strategic catastrophe for the prosecution, especially given the scarcity of victims willing to speak out. Each witness who retreats is a brick pulled from the wall of justice, she remarked, emphasizing that the sensitive allegations of sexual abuse and violence, spanning 2 decades from 2004 to 2024, demanded extraordinary courage to confront a figure like Diddy. Former FBI agent Bobby Ciccone, in an interview with News Nation, painted a grim picture of the challenges in persuading witnesses. He portrayed Diddy as a monument of power, wielding not only wealth but an expansive network of connections, from A-list celebrities to behind-the-scenes industry titans. These allegations are not just sensitive, they unfolded in the shadows behind closed doors, Ciccone explained. How do you convince someone to stand up when they know they could lose everything? their career, their family, even their personal safety. An anonymous victim speaking through an encrypted call whispered in terror, "If I speak out, I'll be destroyed. Not just me, but everyone I love." Her confession cut like a blade, underscoring the injustice and fear stifling the faintest voices. The situation grew more intricate when an investigative reporter from The Intercept unveiled a bombshell, a leaked email from within Bad Boy Entertainment hinting at a covert crisis management team. Though unverified, the email alluded to sophisticated campaigns to quash allegations against Diddy, ranging from bribes to legal intimidation. It suggested a meticulously orchestrated system of manipulation where power and money silenced witnesses like victim number 3. The Diddy case is not an outlier, a legal commentator observed. It's emblematic of a system where the powerful can manipulate justice, rendering victims invisible. Yet, as prosecutors strove to pierce this wall of silence, a clandestine network of manipulation began to surface, with signs that Diddy did not act alone, but was backed by a sprawling power structure. The Combs family, once seen as an unshakable foundation, was unexpectedly thrust into the crosshairs of suspicion. Justin Dior Combs and Christian King Combs, Diddy's sons, faced allegations of involvement in their father's notorious freak-off parties, where illegal activities allegedly took place. A leaked court document revealed their presence at some of these events, though their roles remain unclear. Meanwhile, Janice Combs, Diddy's mother, was rumored to be quietly consolidating key assets, from stakes in Bad Boy Entertainment to properties in Los Angeles and Miami. These moves fueled speculation that the Combs family was bracing for the worst-case scenario, or more troublingly, working to shield the empire from the legal tempest. An unverified ex-post even questioned whether Janice was leveraging connections to clean up issues tied to victim number 3. The collision of legal accusations and family drama created a vortex of tension, where each new detail only deepened the fog of mystery. Despite possessing evidence like the video of Diddy assaulting Cassie Ventura and hundreds of pages of documents, prosecutors faced an invisible barrier. The terror of witnesses, the weight of public scrutiny, and the shadow of a power system that had long shielded Diddy. As the trial entered its contentious phase, the central question was not only whether justice would prevail, but whether silenced voices could muster the strength to shatter the wall of silence. Yet, as the FBI delved deeper into Diddy's network of influence, darker secrets loomed, threatening to topple not only him but the unseen forces behind him.
I gotta give a special thank you to the people that was really like there for me. Cassie, for holding me down in the dark times. Love.
Beneath the piercing, sterile light of Manhattan's federal courtroom on May 11, 2025, Sean Diddy Combs sat motionless in the defendant's chair, his taut expression betraying a tempest roiling within. The trial, now at the zenith of its contentious phase, was no mere legal proceeding. It was an arena where truth clashed with power and fame. At the heart of this maelstrom was victim number 3, the enigmatic witness who vanished on the eve of the trial. Her tightly guarded testimony, however, loomed as a razor-sharp blade, threatening to tear through the veil shrouding Diddy's alleged crimes. Her sudden absence, mere days before she was set to testify, ignited suspicions that Diddy, or those in his inner circle, had intervened to stifle the truth. The charges against him, ranging from orchestrating a criminal enterprise through Bad Boy Entertainment, his music empire accused of serving as a conduit for illicit activities, to assault, intimidation, and sexual abuse, not only stunned the public but also exposed a sophisticated web of manipulation. The FBI, unrelenting in its pursuit, marshaled its full force to uphold justice against a formidable adversary. As prosecutors unveiled shocking evidence from leaked recordings to insider testimonies, Diddy faced a cascade of new setbacks, cornering him in a perilous position where each misstep by his legal team and every fresh revelation struck like a mortal blow. Under oath, grilled by prosecutor Maureen Comey, Diddy and his attorneys vehemently denied ordering threats against victim number 3, insisting he never met her outside public events. Yet, a prison recording played in court on May 11th revealed him instructing an associate to send a message to her, sparking murmurs among the jury and prompting Judge Subramanian to call a brief recess to restore order. After the recording aired, the jury, their eyes alight with tension, retreated to deliberate in private. Some expressed outrage at the contradictions in Diddy's testimony, while others pondered whether he truly orchestrated victim number 3's disappearance or was merely a pawn in a larger manipulative network. The core allegations against Diddy encompassed running a criminal organization, assault, intimidation, and sexual abuse, with incidents spanning from 2015 to 2024. Prosecutor Maureen Comey, her voice cutting like a blade, opened the contentious phase with a devastating salvo. Victim number three's 47-page affidavit, recorded at the FBI's Chicago office on March 15, 2025. Sealed in a safe at the FBI's New York headquarters, this document painted a vivid portrait of Diddy's brutality. It detailed an assault at the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles on June 23, 2016, where Diddy, in a fit of rage, battered a young woman into unconsciousness, leaving bloodstains on the floor. He grabbed her hair, dragged her down the hallway, and threatened to kill her if she reported it to the police, victim number 3 wrote. Another incident at a Miami penthouse on July 12, 2018, described Diddy whipping a different victim with a belt, leaving bruises she concealed for months. Her testimony further revealed that Diddy routinely carried a Glock 19 to intimidate, a claim corroborated when the FBI recovered a matching pistol from a safe in his Beverly Hills mansion on March 10, 2025, its serial number aligning perfectly with her description. Victim number 3's disappearance on May 7th, hours after receiving a threatening message from a disposable phone in Las Vegas, Nevada, spurred the FBI into urgent action. A task force from the Witness Protection Unit in Washington, D.C. was dispatched that night, relocating her family, her mother, and 2 young siblings to a covert location in Virginia. The FBI is tracing the threat's origin, suspecting a close ally of Diddy, possibly from the Combs family's inner circle, orchestrated the attempt to silence her. Prosecutor Comey accused Diddy of using 3-way calls from Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center to send messages to potential witnesses. A recording from May 5th captured Diddy through an intermediary named Marcus Tate, pressing a woman named Lena Carter to claim their relationship was consensual. Carter, in her FBI testimony in Philadelphia on May 8th, revealed she was coerced under financial duress, with threats that her family would lose their home if she didn't comply. When this recording played in court on May 12th, the jury fell silent, their gazes fixed on Diddy, who remained impassive. Victim number 3's absence cast a dark shadow over the trial, yet her safeguarded testimony burned like an ember poised to incinerate Diddy's empire. Diddy's legal team, led by Tenny Garagos, fiercely countered, arguing the allegations lacked direct evidence and relied on one-sided claims from opportunists. They insisted Diddy's actions fell within the bounds of personal relationships, with no physical proof of violence or threats. Yet, Diddy's silence in the dock, uttering not a word, only deepened suspicions. A stunning moment unfolded when Diddy, under oath, denied threatening victim number 3, but the prison recording of him ordering a message sent to her sent ripples through the jury. Judge Subramanian instructed the jury to disregard this detail, but their skeptical glances suggested they were dissecting Diddy's deceptive testimony. The Washington Post, in a May 13th analysis, called it an irreparable crack in Diddy's defensive wall, noting his legal team's struggle against a mountain of damning evidence. The FBI, collaborating with the Department of Homeland Security, escalated the investigation, zeroing in on the manipulative network behind Diddy. A bombshell emerged on May 10th when the FBI uncovered a video on the dark web flagged by an anonymous tipster self-identified as Truth Seeker 2025. Filmed at Diddy's Los Angeles mansion on April 19, 2019, it showed him in a heated altercation with victim number 3, identifiable by a small tattoo on her left wrist. As she attempted to flee, screaming, "Don't touch me," 2 burly bodyguards blocked her path ascendant.
Diddy roared,
"You're not going anywhere." The FBI promptly sent the footage to its Quantico, Virginia lab, where experts confirmed the voice and setting matched victim number 3's testimony. The New York Times, in a May 12th analysis, quoted former prosecutor Preet Bharara. "This video is a silver bullet, proving not only violent behavior but Diddy's efforts to control his victim." The video's timely emergence fueled speculation that a disgruntled former associate, possibly a security staffer, was aiding justice. An anonymous witness, a logistics manager for Bad Boy Entertainment from 2015 to 2020, left the courtroom breathless during a May 11th hearing. In testimony recorded at the FBI's Atlanta office on May 3rd, he revealed Diddy maintained a covert fixer team of 5 highly paid members to intimidate and bribe witnesses. "I was ordered to deliver a message to victim number 3's mother in Columbus, Ohio, in February 2025, he said, voice trembling. Diddy said if she testified, their family home would burn. Investigators are probing whether the Combs family, particularly sons Justin and Christian, knew of or aided this team's efforts to pressure victim number 3. The witness further disclosed that the team funneled $1.5 million through offshore accounts in the Cayman Islands from 2018 to 2024 to resolve issues. Based on this, the FBI expanded its probe to Diddy's close associates, including a Bad Boy Entertainment CFO suspected of managing a slush fund. A May 8th raid on Bad Boy's New York office seized 12 hard drives containing 3 terabytes of data, including emails and contracts, now under analysis at FBI headquarters in Manhattan. A leaked email published by Reuters on May 12th showed Diddy approving a $500,000 payment in 2022 to handle a sensitive matter, raising suspicions of another bribed witness. A new blow came from an unexpected witness, Alicia Monroe, Diddy's personal assistant from 2014 to 2017. In her May 12th testimony, she recounted witnessing Diddy threaten victim number 3 at a Los Angeles studio in October 2016 for refusing to sign a non-disclosure agreement. He said if she didn't sign, she'd never work in Hollywood again, Monroe testified. The FBI, acting on this, conducted a second raid on Bad Boy's office on May 13th, seizing a hard drive now being decrypted in San Francisco. Bloomberg, in a May 14th analysis, noted if verified, this black file will be undeniable proof of Diddy's manipulation campaign. Another shocking detail came from an Intercontinental Hotel employee who testified on May 10th about cleaning Diddy's room after the 2016 assault. There was blood on the carpet and a broken chair, he said, confirming the hotel received $50,000 from a Diddy associate to forget the incident. The FBI obtained transaction records showing the payment came through a Delaware shell company, bolstering claims that Diddy used money to conceal crimes. This revelation, reported by NBC News on May 11th, sparked public outrage, with the hashtag #JusticeForVictims trending on X, amassing 5 million interactions in 24 hours. As prosecutors prepared to call their next witness on May 14, 2025, victim number 3's absence remained a haunting specter, but her testimony, secured in a safe at the FBI's New York headquarters, smoldered like a latent flame, ready to torch Diddy's dark secrets. Yet, as the world's gaze fixed on the Manhattan federal courtroom, a fresh wave of scrutiny turned toward those closest to Diddy, his sons Justin Dior Combs and Christian King Combs, and his mother Janice Combs. The mysterious disappearance of victim number 3, coupled with clues about Diddy's prison calls and the roles of his inner circle, including the Combs family, has spurred the FBI to intensify its probe, promising to unravel the sinister truths behind this case. As the weight of evidence against Sean Diddy Combs mounted, suspicious gazes began to shift toward those closest to him, the Combs family, where secrets seemed to lurk behind the gleaming facade of their opulent empire. While the trial stirred public outcry over the absence of Diddy's family members, in Los Angeles, Sean Diddy Combs' sprawling mansion stood shrouded in an eerie stillness. Beneath the fading glow of sunset, the glass walls of the lavish Los Angeles estate reflected a cold, almost sinister beauty, as if concealing the dark truths seeping through the Combs family. Once an icon of power and prestige, with a sprawling empire spanning music, fashion, and media, Diddy now languished in federal custody, facing grave allegations tied to his infamous parties. But the shadow of scandal did not envelop Diddy alone. It permeated every member of his family, his mother Janice Combs and his sons Justin and Christian. Within the mansion that once epitomized extravagance, every glance and whispered word now carried an undercurrent of distrust, as if each harbored their own clandestine agenda. Amid these webs of suspicion, Janice, with her cunning and calculated poise, emerged as the mastermind, orchestrating events with an invisible yet iron grip. When victim number 3 vanished abruptly before her testimony, and Diddy's assets began to shift in secretive transfers, whispers grew that Janice was not merely a devoted mother, but a shrewd strategist, quietly shaping the Combs family's fate. Janice Combs, with her regal bearing and unnerving composure, had long been seen as the steadfast matriarch who stood by Diddy through every storm. Her silver hair meticulously styled, her piercing eyes seeming to unravel any secret, she embodied resilience. Yet, with Diddy behind bars, her actions invited scrutiny. Circuitous taxi rides through Los Angeles' narrow streets, cryptic late-night phone calls, and clandestine meetings in the shadowed corners of cafes sparked unease. One late afternoon at Melrose Cafe, Janice was spotted in hushed conversation with a mysterious man rumored to be linked to associates who threatened victim number 3, fueling speculation that she was erasing traces tied to the witness's disappearance. Rumors spread like wildfire. She might have been handling documents tied to Diddy's wealth, orchestrating a plan to transfer or shield the family's vast fortune before legal repercussions consumed it. Was Janice acting to protect her son, or was she quietly laying the groundwork for a future where she held the reins of the Combs empire? With access to Diddy's covert financial accounts for years, Janice appeared poised to seize control of his colossal wealth, all while maintaining the facade of a devoted mother. Her discretion, paired with enigmatic maneuvers, made it impossible to dismiss the notion that she was weaving an intricate web, with every family member unwittingly serving as her pawn. Meanwhile, Diddy's sons, Justin and Christian, stood as polar opposites, each cloaked in their own shade of suspicion. Justin, the elder son, was reserved, shunning the spotlight his father once commanded. With his polished demeanor, impeccably tailored suits, and rare but meaningful smiles, he seemed the least conspicuous Combs. Yet recent sightings of him in furtive meetings with Cassie Ventura, Diddy's former partner, at a discreet Beverly Hills eatery raised eyebrows. More alarmingly, Justin was spotted conferring with an intermediary in Beverly Hills, allegedly tied to victim number 3, prompting questions about whether he acted alone or under the guidance of someone closer, perhaps Janice. The encounter was brief, marked by tense glances and hurried whispers. Cassie, who shared a long history with Diddy and was believed to hold damning secrets, reportedly rebuffed Justin's overtures. Rumors swirled that Justin was either coaxing Cassie to reveal information harmful to his father, or more disturbingly, leveraging her past with Diddy for a scheme of his own. His meeting with the intermediary deepened doubts. Was Justin acting on his own accord, or was he an unwitting player in a grander plot, possibly orchestrated by Janice? What drove the typically discreet Justin to such risky endeavors? Could it be the influence of Janice, her steely gaze ever watchful, pulling strings from the shadows? In stark contrast, Christian, the younger son, embodied impulsiveness and ostentation. With a flamboyant lifestyle and an unapologetic demeanor, he and his social media influencer girlfriend, boasting millions of followers, flaunted their presence at high-profile venues, from Hollywood nightclubs to extravagant Miami soirees. Their passionate embraces, brazen kisses captured by cameras, and provocative social media posts incited public outrage, particularly as Diddy languished in jail. Yet, their extravagance seemed more than youthful recklessness. Whispers suggested Christian and his girlfriend were staging a spectacle to divert attention from a larger scheme. Following the May 11th hearing, their relentless appearances and controversial social media posts, lavish parties, and inflammatory remarks seemed designed to keep the public's focus off the family's covert maneuvers. These ostentatious acts, though seemingly impulsive, appeared to align with Janice's strategy, using Christian and his girlfriend as a dazzling distraction to mask her asset negotiations. Was Christian vying to outshine his brother, or was he an unwitting pawn in a grander game, possibly masterminded by Janice? The contrast between Justin's restraint and Christian's flamboyance heightened tensions, as if the brothers were locked in a silent feud, each wary of the other yet blind to Janice's quiet manipulation. Amid these mounting suspicions, Diddy, though incarcerated, sensed the growing unease within his family. Letters penned from prison revealed his anguish and paranoia. "I don't know who to trust anymore. Is my own family turning against me?" The case grew murkier with victim number 3's inexplicable disappearance, a witness believed to hold critical details about Diddy's parties. Rumors surged that her vanishing was no coincidence, and scrutiny turned toward the Combs family. Was Janice, with her covert meetings, implicated? Did Justin's encounter with Cassie conceal a darker motive, or had Christian, through his murky connections, inadvertently or deliberately drawn the family deeper into peril? No one knew for certain, but victim number 3's absence was the spark that ignited Diddy's fears of betrayal within his own kin. Cassie Ventura, Diddy's former partner, further muddied the waters. Though she rebuffed Justin, she remained entangled in the fray. Sources hinted that Cassie possessed secrets capable of toppling Diddy's empire, and her meeting with Justin might have been a calculated move to protect herself or settle old scores. Yet, Cassie was no open book. Was she covertly aligning with a Combs family member, or merely a pawn ensnared in their internal strife? Her presence, coupled with Justin's cryptic actions, fueled suspicions of a broader conspiracy, with Janice, ever astute, seemingly the only one capable of connecting the dots. Through this tangle of doubt, Janice emerged as an enigmatic yet commanding figure. She betrayed no hint of panic, even as Diddy hired private investigators from prison to monitor his family. Her secretive trips, untraceable calls, and lawyer meetings were calibrated to be just vague enough to sow doubt without inviting conclusions. She knew Justin's blind loyalty could be nudged into risky moves like his meeting with Cassie. She also understood that Christian's recklessness made him the perfect decoy, drawing public and Diddy's scrutiny. Every step Janice took was a calculated gambit, yet she cloaked herself in the guise of a devoted mother, speaking of family love and sacrifice for Sean. When Diddy's prison letters questioned her about rumors, Janice responded with soothing words, "I'll always be here for you, Sean. Don't let gossip sway you." But her eyes held a glacial glint, as if fixed on a future where she held all the cards. The brothers' dichotomy underscored Janice's role as the puppeteer. Justin's discretion and covert actions suggested a bid to secure his place, yet each move inadvertently drew Diddy's suspicion. Christian's flamboyance and questionable ties seemed provocative, but he failed to see how his spotlight shielded Janice's maneuvers. As the brothers clashed, wary of one another, Janice wove her intricate web, ensuring that whatever the outcome, she would command the lion's share of wealth and power. In the opulent yet chilling mansion, Janice Combs sat in quiet contemplation, her steely gaze sweeping over glass walls reflecting the dying sunset. With Justin teetering on a dangerous edge, negotiating with figures tied to victim number 3, and Christian unwittingly commanding headlines with carefully curated spectacle, Janice's every move from clandestine meetings to asset management was shrouded in just enough ambiguity to leave observers questioning her role in victim number 3's disappearance or her efforts to safeguard the family empire. The witness's mysterious vanishing paired with shadowy asset transfers cemented suspicions that Janice was not merely protecting her kin but quietly usurping Diddy's dominion. Each comforting word to her jailed son, every smile for the public, served as a flawless mask, concealing a meticulously crafted plan. As the world fixated on Diddy and his sons, Janice stood in the shadows, clutching the strings of power, poised to shape the Combs family's future, a future where she and she alone would emerge victorious. Amid the gloom of grave accusations and unraveling secrets, a flicker of hope began to emerge like a beam of light piercing the inky clouds over Los Angeles. Sean Diddy Combs, once an emblem of opulence and influence, now faced bleak days in federal custody as his victims, with extraordinary courage, rose to reclaim justice. From solitary voices, a formidable movement was taking shape, not only to hold Diddy accountable, but to inspire millions to believe that, no matter how dense the darkness, justice could still prevail. Cassie Ventura, one of Diddy's former partners, became a focal point when she chose to testify under her real name, defying threats to her safety and reputation. Refusing silence, she sat before cameras in a poignant television interview, her eyes resolute yet tinged with sorrow. "I lived in fear for too long," she said, her voice trembling but resolute. "But when I think of the other victims, those without a chance to speak, I know I can't turn away. The Me Too movement taught me our voices have power, and I want to use mine to embolden them." Cassie's words were not just a declaration of war against Diddy, but a spark of inspiration, igniting courage in those who believed their silence was eternal. She fought not only for herself, but for others she believed deserved to be heard and healed. Sources revealed that Cassie, with the aid of a mysterious legal advisor, was preparing a civil lawsuit against Diddy, leveraging secrets from their years-long relationship. The timing of her lawsuit, coinciding with Janice Combs' clandestine meetings, led many to wonder if an unseen force was maneuvering to tip the scales against Diddy in the trial. Alongside Cassie, attorney Andrew Van Arsdale emerged as an unrelenting warrior for justice. Representing 37 victims and handling over 400 potential claims, Van Arsdale was more than a lawyer. He was a crusader with a mission. At a press conference packed with reporters, he stood before the microphone, his gaze piercing, and declared,
Now,
"We're not just fighting for the victims who've spoken out, but for those still shrouded in darkness. No matter how this trial ends, we won't stop until justice is served." Van Arsdale's commitment not only offered hope to victims, but sent a resounding message to the justice system: no one, no matter how powerful, stands above the law. His efforts, combined with victims' cooperation with federal investigators, transformed Diddy's case into a beacon of perseverance and bravery. Among these victims were those who chose a perilous yet profound path, collaborating with federal investigators. For them, this was not just a chance to hold Diddy accountable, but a way to seize justice they once thought unattainable. An anonymous victim, shielded by a witness protection program, penned a public letter to Diddy, her words etched with pain and resilience. "You stole my youth, but you can't take my voice. I stand here not just for myself, but for everyone you've harmed. We won't let you keep running." Published across social media, the letter went viral, becoming a symbol of unity and strength for survivors. Her words were not merely an accusation, but a reminder that no matter Diddy's might, the victims' voices could shake the world. This solidarity was amplified by a new figure, Aaliyah Carter, a 25-year-old social activist with a fiery heart and a grand vision. Aaliyah launched the online campaign #JusticeForDiddy Victims, rallying communities to support the victims. Through powerful posts, inspiring videos, and live streams drawing thousands, she turned her campaign into a global movement, amassing millions of supporters. "We can't let the powerful keep abusing and evading accountability," she declared in a viral video, her eyes blazing with resolve. "Every share, every signature, every voice is a brick in the wall of justice." Aaliyah's campaign not only pressured the justice system but breathed new life into the fight, assuring victims they were not alone, that the world stood behind them. Meanwhile, federal investigators harnessed cutting-edge technology to delve deeper into the case. Using artificial intelligence, they sifted through terabytes of data from Diddy's iCloud and devices, uncovering hidden patterns, encumbrous emails, texts, and videos. These technological breakthroughs not only bolstered the case against Diddy, but illuminated the vast scope of his alleged illicit activities. A former FBI agent, experienced in witness protection, underscored the importance of building trust with victims. These individuals have endured unimaginable trauma, he said in an interview. To get them to speak, we must ensure they feel safe and heard. Witness protection programs are key, but trust is the foundation. These efforts, paired with the victims' courage, were steadily carving a path toward justice. Amid these dark days, the stories of Cassie, Van Arsdale, Aaliyah, and anonymous victims shone as small but fierce flames, kindling hope in an unjust world. They fought not only for themselves but for those without a voice, for wounds that never healed, and for a future where fear no longer reigned. As the #Justice for Diddy Victims campaign spread, as investigated and as resilient voices rang out, a clear message emerged: justice might be delayed, but it would not be denied. In the opulent yet hollow shell of the Combs' once glorious mansion, the family might be fracturing, but beyond its walls, a community of survivors and allies was rising, united, resolute, and ready to change the world. As the trial spotlight pierces the shadowy recesses of Sean Diddy Combs' empire, a broader narrative unfolds, not merely about one man facing his reckoning, but about an industry tainted by power and abuse. Diddy, steadfastly pleading not guilty, stares down the prospect of 20 years to life in prison if convicted, yet this case transcends him alone. Fresh evidence, from freak-off tapes to allegations involving minors, complicates the proceedings, casting a deeper pall over the victims. Meanwhile, attorney Andrew Van Arsdale, his voice brimming with resolve, insists that justice is more than a verdict. It is accountability that allows victims to heal. They need to know their voices matter, he declared, his eyes alight with conviction, as if envisioning other powerful figures who might be exposed in the wake of this case. A larger question looms: will the Diddy case ignite a cleansing fire within the entertainment industry, or merely flicker as a fleeting chapter in the saga of power and abuse? Should Diddy be convicted, the future could usher in a transformative wave. Victims once silenced by fear might find the courage to speak, making this case a catalyst for a broader movement to purify the industry. A glimmer of hope has already emerged in the form of a song by an independent artist inspired by the case. With haunting melodies and incisive lyrics, the track has become a global anthem for the fight against power abuse, resonating from city streets to online platforms, rekindling faith that music can be a weapon for justice. The Diddy case is not solely about victims or courtrooms. It is a clarion call to all. Justice is not confined to the courthouse. It is forged by communities, by voices that refuse to be silenced. Everyone has a role: engaging in online discussions, supporting organizations, aiding abuse survivors, or simply listening to and believing those who have endured. This case delivers a potent message: the system that has long enabled abuse has overstayed its welcome, and change arrives only when we act collectively. As the spotlight fades, Diddy's story reminds us that justice is a flame that must be nurtured, not just for today's victims but for a future where power no longer equates to impunity.